want supercharged productivity, the most powerful premium nootropic stack on the planet, get the Cortex stack at livecortex.com. We made this stack for people that want to be productive, people that want verbal fluency, people that want motivation and drive, and people that just want to get stuff done. $31 right now at livecortex.com. If you need my help on custom stack formulation to help you to get the most surgical results from nootropics, we have 3 different consulting packages which you can find at livecortex.com. And if you're a man and need to raise testosterone, get your libido back, get your sex drive back, get your masculinity, get your confidence back, we've got the most powerful testosterone raising protocol on the web. And all of these products, to include our digital books and courses on nootropics and biohacking, you can find at the homepage at livecortex.com. Be productive, get supercharged, get stuff done.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan. What you're looking at is the Gemini milligram scale. This is the scale that we suggest to people because it's cheap. It's $20 on Amazon. It weighs out in milligram quantities. It even weighs out in very small milligram quantities, which I'm going to demonstrate. A lot of the stacks that you really get the best effects from are stacks that you use compounds like Noopept and PRL853 as synergistic additional components to the base formulation of the stacks. You're really not dosing these things in very high quantities. You might be dosing it in 5 milligrams or 6 milligrams or 8 milligrams or something like that, not the whole 13 or 15. Folks often have a hard time doing this because, scales are touchy. This isn't the best scale on the planet. I mean, obviously there's more expensive ones, but to keep everything cheap, it's really the best option. And folks kind of have a hard time weighing out small doses, really small doses of either Noopept or PRL853. So I want to show you how I do it. I want to show you kind of the scale might even move a little bit. It might even sort of change 1 milligram quantity or the other. But I want to give you kind of what to do in that situation and what you're really looking at as far as dosing on this. The first thing you need to do this appropriately, you guys think I'm going to pull out this like super cool thing that I figured out from nootropics china.com or something. It's a toothpick. That's what you need. Okay, you need a toothpick to do this. You can't use the measuring spoon because the measuring spoons will provide entirely too much material and it's going to go over based on where you want it. So really what you're looking at is doing something like this. Take the toothpick, get some material on it. In some cases, if your toothpick is not really picking material, you might want to wet it a little bit, dip it in a little bit of water. I'm going to do that. Take the toothpick back so we can actually get material to stick to it. And now we're starting to get some material. Here we go. Okay, so right there is, I want to say, that's probably about 2 milligrams, 2 to 3 milligrams of Noopept. It's not a lot of Noopept. And in these cases, when I'm telling folks to stack this micro amount of a compound, which is how you surgically get doses right. I mean, the kind of stacks that have these low doses, those are killer stacks because they're dosed perfectly. It's not too high. That's about 2 to 3 milligrams of Noopept right there. Now, to take it to like 5 or 6 or, I guess leading up to 8, you would, try to dip it again. And see, there we have a considerable amount of material. So what I want to do is kind of show you what I do. It is not perfect. It's an adjustment process. But say we're shooting for 8 to 9 milligrams. Again, a super small dose of Noopept. This is what we would do. We have the Noopept. We'll shake it a little bit. You take your right finger or index finger and try to get it to deliver some of the material. Now we just dropped a good bit of material right there. See, the scale is going to average out at 8 milligrams. That's it. That's 8 milligrams of Noopept. If you wanted to do 7 milligrams of Noopept, you would then try to very carefully move like one of these small balls off of the scale, but sometimes that messes with the scale because you're putting a little pressure on that plate right there, so you don't want to do that. There we have 8 milligrams of Noopept. So if you wanted to try to take 6 milligrams of Noopept, you would essentially try to take this quantity of material right here, and split it in, if you really want to get advanced, split it in eighths and then take 1/8 or 2/8 rather out of that small quantity. I know we're dealing with a very, very small quantity of stuff, but I can assure you on some of the stacks that we suggest, if you get this right and you figure out how to dose Noopept and PRL at these small doses, it's going to make a world of difference with the synergy of the rest of the stack, okay? So in this case, I mean, that's 8 milligrams of Noopept. That's just fine. You know, if you wanted to do 5 milligrams of Noopept, you'd probably do something like that. You'd probably take that away, and this right here would just be about 5 milligrams of Noopept. I mean, that's really what we're looking at. Again, it's not perfect, but this is as close as you're going to get. Because if you were to take one of those $1,000 scales and weigh this right here on it, it'd be between 4 and 5 milligrams of Noopept. I've seen it done before. So that's my suggestion on doing this. It is not science, but frankly, it's a lot easier than people think. You got to use a toothpick, you got to get material, and then you got to kind of just shake it over the scale in very, very small quantities and let the scale register. Wherever the scale registers and balances out at, that's your dose of the compound. So when we are suggesting 500 of aniracetam, 500 of oxiracetam, and 8 milligrams of Noopept, this is how I'm doing it, and this is how I suggest people doing it, okay? So I hope that's been useful. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Got my trusty Noopept here from Nootropics Depot. And I hope that's been useful. Remember, guys, the Nootropics Masterclass is launching next Thursday. Okay, this is a class where not only we teach you stuff like this, but we just give you expert level nootropics information. If you want to take your nootropics game to the 5 or 6 year mark or more, this is the kind of stuff that people pay us $5,000 to teach them. We actually have people that pay us that to teach them everything I've learned in the last 12 years. This is what we teach them. It's called the Nootropics Masterclass, and it is the most information-dense, value-driven program on nootropics we have ever launched. You can get it pre-order right now at livecortex.com, and if you do that, you'll get it the day that it launches, but you can buy it now for cheaper, or you can go to livecortex.com and get on the email list, wait for the pop-up to pop up, and get notified when the product launches, which is going to be next week, Thursday, January 16th, okay? So do that at livecortex.com. Thanks so much for being with me through this. I hope I've been valuable, and we'll talk to you next time.
If you want supercharged productivity, the most powerful pre-made nootropic stack on the planet, get the Cortex stack at livecortex.com. We made this stack for people that want to be productive, people that want verbal fluency, people that want motivation and drive, and people that just want to get stuff done. $31 right now at livecortex.com. If you need my help on custom stack formulation to help you to get the most surgical results from nootropics, we have 3 different consulting packages which you can find at livecortex.com. And if you're a man and need to raise testosterone, get your libido back, get your sex drive back, get your masculinity, get your confidence back, we've got the most powerful testosterone raising protocol on the web. And all of these products, to include our digital books and courses on nootropics and biohacking, you can find at the homepage at livecortex.com. Be productive, get supercharged, get stuff done.